and you'll have click the links. So this idiot blames Islamophobicism for her film that is predictably going to fail, or at least she feels it's going to fail. And actually, there is a dude in the bottom of the comments goes, Oppenheimer's a movie over a topic that affected everybody, and this movie is some topic that just kind of affects her and maybe her tribe, but it's like it's a much smaller market. You have to be cognizant of that. So this chick who is, I guess, some sort of woke feminist kind of race grifter is making this grievance show at pretty much the exact wrong time for it to have any chance of success. There's been a lot of woke stuff that has failed lately. Like you would think these Hollywood movie companies would kind of start cluing into making the connection. Oh, they're talking about there's correlation is not causation. You keep making these movies and they keep losing a serious amount of money. By all means, please keep making them. Because and there's got to be a lot of people that just checked out of Hollywood. There's nothing I look at on the horizon I have with any interest. I can't imagine Hollywood ever turning it around, ever. Maybe stuff the alt media might get some funding together and come up with like a, Kevin Smith Clerks type of movie. That would be the only chance. But out of the mainstream, forget about it. The thing is, even liberal women who would kind of be the only supporters of this kind of toxic cancer are done with all this stuff. They might not admit it out loud, but the numbers are just not adding up. When people go, oh, of course, this is a stunning and brave portrayal of the marginalized and oppressed and disenfranchised, and all these Frankfurt School bullshit buzzwords. And then when it comes time you look at the box office, you go, oh yeah, so what happened to all those people? What happened to all that, that liberal audience? I guess they'll just wait for it to come out on streaming. Yeah, but that means the movie bombed. Well, it's they're all really busy that weekend washing their hair. So here's the thing with the racial grift industry. What happens when people stop caring? Right now, it's people quietly not caring by just not passively, by not supporting. I mean normal people, not me. I openly do not care about anyone not in my tribe. But what happens when normal people hit base levels of openly not caring? Of just looking at all these stupid grievance movies and books and those stupid coffee table books by, I don't know, was it Ta-Nehisi Coates or Kwanzaa, whatever those kind of people. They're just like, just put, I don't like, there's some bizarro publishing deals going around with like, that must be money laundering, because I can't imagine that there's enough liberals that'll buy this kind of stuff. And these looking at all these kind of whiners and going, yeah, that stuff isn't for me or my tribe. I just don't care. Why on earth would I care about people who apparently hate me because of my country of origin? I wonder if liberals will ever really understand that concept and just stop trying to reach across an aisle when they realize it's not a two-way street. How dare you suggest it's a two-way street? Then what is it? Why would I be interested in your story whatsoever if it's not a two-way street? And it's very clear it's not a two-way street. It's like that ship has sailed. It's like, well, as it turns out, not many people are interested in this the grievance industry. So what a lot of these people don't understand, I don't care or have a reason to, because it's not important to us, but because it's also not in our history. It's their history. It's in their timeline, but it's not in our timeline, so we just don't care. If you're black, it's probably fascinating to watch movies that center you, and for sure. But why would I care? Why would other people care? I want to see movies with Irish or European people in general, not people who have no relation to my timeline, especially now with relations just being kind of so bad, and also kind of bad beyond the point of saving, where there's not going to be a reconciliation. I think things are just going to continue to diverge from each other, where people are just going to do their own things in their own groups of people type of stuff. So movies will become more for a selective audience, and entertainment will be, I guess, more separated kind of thing. The thing with movies, and this is why I think Hollywood is going to continue to lose influence, is that if we see pox directors or actors, we know the film is going to be woke, preachy garbage. Nobody wants to pay $20 to be lectured to by idiots. It surprises me that more people haven't awoken to this and just admitted that they can't bring themselves to care. Oh, if you want me to see a movie, you can cash at me the ticket price and the popcorn, and I will go see it. Probably a matinee though. But like I said, this is a bad time for movies like this because of the events of and do a review on it. Because of the events of the BLM riots, people have seen the mask off of the mostly peaceful riots, and as a result, people have gotten much more tribal recently. People are kind of forming teams and they can see now who's on their side and who isn't. They see everyone advocating for their tribe and they're realizing that they have to also get tribal and advocate for their tribe and the stuff they want to see. You got to have to support the stuff you're interested in. And it's kind of how something like Comicsgate was able to be so successful, because they realized, yeah, the mainstream is just not, it's not for the mainstream people. It's not for a whole lot of people. It's just for this very specific far left audience that wants to constantly see the American Chavez type of comic, or the soy Spider-Man getting cucked by his girlfriend. It's just like written by people who, oh god, who was that guy? What's the image of that guy who was like playing ukulele? It's some kind of YouTuber. The people who work for Marvel, they look exactly like you'd expect them to look. Anyway, so people are kind of forming teams, and they can see now who's on their side and who isn't. They see everyone advocating for their tribe, and they're realizing that they have to also get tribal and advocate for their tribe. It's not a good or bad thing. It's just a human adjustment to an evolving situation where people are going to kind of self-segregate instead of at one point coming together. I think things are very much going the opposite direction. So, and that's just how things work. So her complaint is that people were interested in Oppenheimer, and nobody's interested in her Black Grievance movie about how much she hates European people. Well, Oppenheimer had a big boost from Barbie, so that was responsible for a lot of its success, because it was the two movies that came out at the time, and for some reason people kind of memed it into existence. So there is that supporting that. But why exactly would anyone be interested in her movie? We get it. You hate blonde people. That's not a selling point to us. We're not going to watch that. It holds zero interest for non-black people. And the truth is, it also holds very little interest in the black community. So yes, your movie is going to bomb like Fat Man and Little Boy. She claims the audience is sexy and istophobic. Okay, and nobody knows what those words mean anymore, because all it means is that if somebody disagrees with you, you call them istophobic and you get a social media dog pile going. Isn't she being racist for making a movie that foments hatred against the beautiful people of the light, the blonde and red-haired people? There was a time in America when people were trying to let sleeping dogs lie and just move on and try to have a functioning country, but the media in Hollywood wouldn't leave things alone. They had to keep pouring oxygen into a fire that was slowly dying. And in current year, people are done with the worm people in Hollywood and the grievance industry, to the point that people are checking out of Hollywood. It's on strike right now, writers and actors, and nobody cares. Hollywood loses influence every day, and social media gains it. If you're listening to some racist yet lovable asshole on social media, then that's a minute that you're not sucking down the mainstream Kool-Aid. Hollywood is evil. This grievance industry is evil. Nothing they're selling is what people are interested in buying. At some point, you can say that, and the thing is, now there's so many alternatives to where you want to spend your time and energy. At some point, you can say that Hollywood and BLM, these people making money on selling hatred, they're just evil people. We need to stay far away from them and not support them. The only way they can learn a lesson and we can live in peace is if we separate from them entirely. They can have their own hate-filled, toxic echo chamber, and they can do their thing, and we can start an alt economy, set up entire areas of like-minded people. People are just ready to move on from this kind of endless Bolshevik, Saul Alinsky, Frankfurt School fueled type of fighting. Thankfully, all we have to do is not pay them. Let them starve, don't watch their media or buy whatever they're selling. It's like watching the mainstream media, the reporters and those kind of news agencies slowly lose power, and they're aware that they're losing power and influence. Has been just fascinating to watch. The greatest feeling is when you just don't care about the mainstream anymore, or these whiners, and you can start talking about it. You just don't have to care about the media narrative. If the woke want to support their stupid movies, then hey, best of luck to them. I think their audience is going to continue to shrink. The funny thing is, they usually don't support their own stuff. The Woman King failed. Charlie's Angels, Willow, Witcher, and when Witcher, Blood Origin, She-Hulk, Rings of Power, Wheel of Time, all that race swapped kind of cancer usually bombs. In fact, I'm trying to think recently, and there's more than just that. I think it almost always bombs. The sooner people start talking like me, the better. I only want to see hot blonde people in movies and support them. I'm just traumatized if I don't see blue, gray, green, or hazel eyes. I always mention like blue and green eyes, and then the hazel eyed people came into the comments and go, "We're actually like a really rare eye type also." I'm like, okay, I have to throw that in there now. I'm still green-eyed master race. That's all I'm saying. So I have PTSD from woke pox, walks, purse puppies, and Mary Sue's. It's the Apu frog meme about the frog is saying he just doesn't care about the current psyop. He just doesn't care. Hey, it's Black History Month. Yeah, I don't care. It's a gay pride child drag queen celebration of, yeah, I want absolutely nothing to do with any of that Bolshevik propaganda. Keep asking yourself, why would you care about people who hate you? It's an incredible freeing feeling to just reject all of this cancer that whatever the mainstream is selling, yeah, that's probably going to be evil. To look at whatever their narrative is and dismiss it by just calling it, oh, this is another Frankfurt School psyop. Oh, yikes, my guy, that's a problematic dog whistle. Oof, touch some grass, go outside, finger a vagina. Again, I don't care what some degenerate pervert thinks about anything. I don't need acceptance from cat ladies and 300-pound obese soy boys like the Mark Wades of the world. Intolerance to evil is the moral high ground. We don't care about their jeers when we see them applaud child sacrifices to Moloch. I mean, what else would you call it when you remove your offspring's ability to send forth fresh buds from the tree branch? That's a sacrifice to Baal. I mean, that's the what else is there other than that? I mean, you're not directly deleting them from this mortal coil, but you're removing their ability to your ability to have, you're ending your line right there. That's just the most evil thing I can think of, and it's all actually happening. May you live in interesting times, as Terry Pratchett said. Yeah, it's a blessing and a curse, and as it looks like now, this is looking more like a curse. I'm putting on the nightmare glasses, and holy shit, nothing's changed. Yeah, you're living through it right now. It's fascinating. It's like, can you smell the sulfur? Because it kind of does feel a little end of dayish. Anyway, so it's funny with the that in two languages, Latin and something else. Balenciago wouldn't be Greek, right? Because they have their own characters. It means something sinister in both languages. And credit to that big boobed chick on YouTube who broke the story. That talking about things that YouTube doesn't want you to talk about is actually kind of a risky thing. And Brittany Ventney was the first to crack the YouTube version of that Balenciaga story, and it means something when the story's been out for 12 hours and nobody's touched it, and she was the first one to do it. It's kind of interesting that. The sooner if people can just have a mass exodus from YouTube to Rumble, Odyssey, I don't know, something else coming out there. YouTube is that golden cage, and it looks like Twitter is going to do the same golden cage because they're monetized as well. It's like, well, if you're monetized, you want to keep that monetization. It's like, that's kind of going to have to take another look at Twitter. It's like there's sinister on one hand and dexterous on the other. It's like things just keep different snakes winding. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, check me out on subscribe. I'll see you guys all next episode.